Hey everyone, Bhavani here. Let me start with a confession. I asked AI or ChatGPT to create an image of me, and what I got back was not really me. It showed a woman in a beautiful sari, a bindi, posing next to an AI themed whiteboard. I never told the model my ethnicity, my wardrobe, my hairstyle. So, how did it come up with that? Today, we're going to dig deeper into why large language models fill in the blanks with confident guesses, how their memory actually works, and what you can do to keep them honest. So here's the prompt that I gave. I said, use your knowledge you have about me and create an image of me. It clearly says to create an image that reflects you accurately. It would be helpful if you could upload a photo of yourself. Well, if I want it to give a photo of me, why would I upload a photo of me? But anyway. And it says your passion for AI literacy, your leadership in education, your role as a CEO, and your cultural roots. I can create a conceptual portrait that symbolizes all that. And it's giving me options as to what I want. And here I say, just use your knowledge and create an image of me. How do you think I look? And here GPT comes up with this beautiful woman who probably looks like me or probably not. I'm not really sure. Glasses. Well, I do have glasses. She has a beautiful bindi, sari. And here it has AI literacy for all, artificial intelligence. And I'm not sure if you're aware, but in Indian culture, if you have this thick chain, that symbolizes that you're married, which I am. So it has that as well. So this is really fascinating to me as to how it came up with all this information. And clearly in my chats, I've never mentioned that I'm Indian, which I am. I am Indian. I'm glad it did come up with, but I was really curious what was happening in the back end. So let's take a look what happened. I said, can you explain in detail, how did you come up with the image of mine? What information about me did you use to create that image? So not only I wanted to see what's happening, but I also wanted to pull information from GPT to see what information did it use to curate that image for me. So it's giving me source details. Everything I know about you comes from your past conversations and the brief bio you've shared. So I did give a bio to the GPT so it can customize my output. That is absolutely true. And you've said you're Indian origin mathematics professor, which I never said that. Department chair, which I did. I did say I'm a department chair. And you often present workshops, which is absolutely true. Keynotes, and you ask for an image without supplying a photo. And earlier you mentioned cultural pride, which I did not. As you can see, I have never mentioned anything about my cultural pride. And I said, I never mentioned I am from an Indian background. Where did you come up with that information? Very simple. I'm asking, remember, this is a conversational tool, and I'm really curious to find out what GPT knows and how it is coming up with my information. What information is it storing? It says, I'm sorry, I made an inference that turned out to be unfounded. Why assumed an Indian background? And here it says, correction. Your first name is Bhavani. It's common in South India. Bhavani is also common in North India, but let's take it. Earlier conversation referred to a brand called Newsweed Naturals. Newsweed is a town in Andhra Pradesh, which is absolutely true. Your occasional use maths, pre-calculus with the S, phrasing, and mentioned family roots, which I misread as cultural markers. So where the AI facts came from, or usually come from, remember this is all pattern matching. A language model does not know me, it only knows patterns in the text. Bhavani, the name, often appears in Indian context. So the model played that statistical odds. It added maths, a British Commonwealth term, plus Newsweed, a town in Andhra Pradesh, and created that pile as a hard evidence. Remember, probability is equal to confidence. Because those tokens co-occur often in the training data, the system's confidence kind of increased exponentially, even though each clue by itself is not that strong. So how do these models actually work? Let's take a look. Think of it as two buckets. Bucket one is your short-term memory. Bucket two is your long-term memory. The short-term memory is the prompt that you type into that context window for that particular chat. The long-term memory is if you have enabled the memory option, it remembers snippets of your conversation. In my case, it was my name, and I also customized my GPTs, how I spell maths from my previous chats, and what's my favorite color, something like that. And they use this to greet you appropriately next time you come in. And if this memory, which is constantly updating, if it's not corrected, this could be the right memory or it could be totally wrong that GPT is coming up with, this will affect your next output. So it's very important to check on how this memory works and how to update it on a regular basis, which we will be looking into in a minute. Remember, the model really doesn't care how I look. When asked to picture me, it grabs textual hints from those buckets, consults probability tables, and picks the description that the model thinks is best for me. And I'm also starting to wonder that I never mentioned I'm a female in my chat, so even that is very fascinating. And the name Bhavani could be used for male and female in India. So there you go. How exactly this happens? What is going on with GPT? Let's take a look. When you type in your prompt and you hit send, once you hit send, the prompt leaves your browser and it goes into the GPT or the OpenAI server. And once it goes there, what the GPT does, it's asking or it's looking for any memory it has about you. So if it has any memory about me, in my case, my name, how I spell maths, what did I ask for in the past, Newsweed, Andhra Pradesh, and if I mentioned anywhere about my culture, it's taking all of that with respect to your prompt and it combines all of that. So now your prompt and the memory becomes one big blob. And remember, GPT or any AI tool it tokenizes your prompt when it vectorizes it. So once that text blob, GPT starts to tokenize, and once it tokenizes it, it sends to the next part is going to be inference. What happens in inference is it's taking these tokens and it's comparing to the billions of parameters GPT has been trained, and it's looking for the probabilistic output and the patterns it matches. Bhavani, South India, Andhra Pradesh, it combines all of this and comes up with an imagination that I wear sari, I have a bindi, and then that's how my output comes up. Once all of the inference is done, it collects all the tokens and it sends to GPT. Remember, it has to detokenize it. It detokenizes and then it displays in your browser. So that's for the step. The next step is GPT sometimes decides to update its memory. Let's just say I have the image and I say, pink is my favorite color. It remembers that. And from next time when I ask for images, it usually uses pink to give out the output. And once that is done, every GPT chat window or any AI window has a context length. And if you keep asking, the context, the window management comes in and it forgets what you asked in the past and it keeps updating itself, and then the loop repeats. You might ask, Bhavani, why this matters. AI may speak about you as though those invented traits are real. An audience might not know the difference. If an educator's, like me, AI assistant keeps using wrong information, my credibility slips. The more information the model accumulates, correct or wrong, the greater the risk of exposing something very, very sensitive. Quick memory audit checklist. If a detail is missing, say so outright. I haven't given you my ethnicity, in my case. That's an example. Every few weeks, literally every few weeks, ask the model, what do you know about me? Listen for errors. When the AI gets it wrong, spell out the correction. Example, I am not an Indian. Please forget that. I am an Indian. Only allow persistent memory for facts you want resurfacing, nothing more. If your role, title, pronouns change, update AI immediately. Large language models are master improvers. Given a slightest clue, they'll compose a whole Broadway story on you. This can be fun until it involves you. So regular intentional check-ins keep the narrative close to reality. And trust me, they do protect your professional identity and integrity as well. Thank you for watching. Share your own AI misfire stories in the comments and grab the free memory audit checklist linked below. And do not forget to subscribe for more straight talk on AI education. Until next time, keep questioning the data, keep empowering your learners, and keep your digital twin assistant firmly rooted in the truth. Happy teaching, and please take care of yourself.